Ever feel like your own brain is a bit of a mystery? Like it's running on some secret software you never got the manual for? Well, today we're going to change that. We're diving into the key ideas from Psychology for Dummies to get that user's manual for our own minds. Let's jump right in. I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? That moment you say something and immediately wish you could just take it back. Or you find yourself making the same mistake over and over again. Well, psychology is basically the science that digs into those why questions. And today, we're going to unpack some of the coolest insights it has to offer. Okay, so before we can really get to the big why, we've got to start with the how. So let's think of your brain like a super powerful computer. Before you can understand all the fancy apps and programs running on it, you first have to understand its basic operating system, right? And that operating system has a technical name: cognition. Yeah, it sounds a little fancy, but all it really means is all the mental stuff your brain is doing behind the scenes. Recognizing a friend's face in a crowd, figuring out a tricky puzzle, even just remembering your grocery list. It's like the invisible engine that's powering every single thought you have. So, how does this actually play out in real life? Let's break it down. Say you're walking down the street and you see someone you know. Boom. That's input. Your eyes sending data to your brain. Instantly, your brain processes it. That's analysis. Hey, that's Sarah. Then comes the response, the thought, I should say hi. And finally, action. Your hand goes up for a wave. Input, analysis, response, action. It happens so fast you don't even notice it. But this little four-step dance is happening constantly, all day long. And this whole computer metaphor? It's awesome for getting a handle on the basic mechanics, but it's only half the story. Because let's be real. Our minds aren't just cold, logical machines, are they? Nope. They're messy. They're filled with emotions, weird biases, and all these hidden motivations. And that's where things start to get really, really interesting. Okay, so we've looked at the operating system. Now, let's talk about the user, you. What really makes you tick? What are those hidden currents pulling you in different directions? This is where we shift gears from the how our brains work to the why we do the things we do. Right. And you can't really talk about the hidden stuff in our minds without bringing up the one and only Sigmund Freud. He had this wild idea about defense mechanisms. Think of them as your brain's own personal bodyguards, stepping in to protect you from thoughts or feelings that are just too tough to handle. I mean, have you ever, say, not gotten a job you wanted and then immediately told yourself, I didn't really want it anyway? That, my friend, is a textbook case of rationalization. Your brain is a total spin doctor. All right, check this out. Read this personality description on the screen. Does that sound like you? Be honest. If you're nodding along thinking, wow, that's me to a T, you're not alone. But I'm about to let you in on a little psychological trick. It's called the Barnum effect. It's this fascinating quirk in our brains where we take really vague, general statements and believe they apply specifically to us. This is the secret ingredient that makes things like horoscopes and those online personality quizzes feel so spookily accurate. They feel unique to you, but they're actually written to fit just about anyone. So we've spent a good bit of time exploring what's going on inside our own heads. But now let's step outside. Because the second you put yourself in a room with other people, well, the whole game changes. Everything gets way more complicated. When we're part of a group, there are these two major forces pushing and pulling on us. First, there's conformity. Think of it as that subtle, unspoken pressure to just fit in, to go with the flow. Then you've got obedience, which is way more intense. That's not a suggestion. That's a direct order from someone you see as an authority figure. Now, here's a wild story to think about. We all picture Buddhist monks as the ultimate examples of peace and self-control, right? So what on earth could possibly cause them to get into a fierce fight over their monastery? It just doesn't compute. It seems to fly in the face of everything we think we know about them. And the answer is surprisingly simple and a little scary. The situation itself was stronger than their individual personalities. That's a huge insight. It shows that when we're deep in a group dynamic, our own personal beliefs and even our personality can get pushed to the side. It's a massive reminder that who we are isn't just about what's inside us, it's also very much about where we are and who we're with. Wow. Okay, so we've gone from the nuts and bolts of how we think to the secret stuff driving our personalities, and then all the way to how groups can totally change our behavior. Let's try to pull all these threads together now. I think this image here really captures it perfectly. Psychology isn't about finding one single magic answer that explains everything. It's more like learning how to see all the different pieces of your own puzzle, your thoughts, your emotions, your past, the people around you, and starting to understand how they all fit together. So if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. Understanding a bit of psychology isn't about labeling yourself or putting people into neat little boxes. Not at all. It's about getting a toolkit that helps you understand yourself a little better and maybe understand the people in your life a little better too. So we have scratched the surface of the why behind what you do. The big question now is, what are you going to do with it? How does knowing this stuff change anything? Think of it this way. We've just handed you the first few pages of your man's user manual. The rest is up to you to write.